Ketan Parekh, ever heard of him? If you were involved in the stock market in the late 90s, his name would be etched in your memory. In the late 90s, this guy was a legend. He was the talk of the town, the man who could turn the tide of the market with just a flick of his wrist. India's stock market was his playground. He navigated it with the ease and confidence of a seasoned sailor on calm seas. Think of him like a financial rock star. He had the charisma, the flair, and the uncanny ability to predict market movements. He wasn't a Bollywood actor or a cricket hero, yet he commanded the same level of fame and admiration. Nope, Parekh was a different breed. A chartered accountant turned stock market maverick. He had the analytical mind of an accountant and the daring spirit of an entrepreneur. He was a master of numbers. He could see patterns where others saw chaos, opportunities where others saw risks, and boy, did he know how to make them dance. His trades were like orchestrated symphonies, each move calculated to perfection. Parekh wasn't born with a silver spoon. He didn't have the luxury of a privileged upbringing. He came from a middle-class family, but he had ambition. He had dreams that reached far beyond the confines of his modest beginnings and a knack for spotting opportunities. He had an eye for detail and a mind that could connect the dots in ways that others couldn't. He saw the potential of India's booming economy. He understood that the country was on the brink of a financial revolution, and he knew just how to cash in. He wasn't just riding the wave, he was creating it. Parekh's playground was the Bombay Stock Exchange. It was here that he made his mark, where he built his empire. Back then, it was a wild place. The trading floor was a battlefield, and Parekh was one of its fiercest warriors, full of risk, speculation, and the promise of riches. It was a place where fortunes could be made or lost in the blink of an eye. Parekh thrived in this environment. He was in his element, navigating the chaos with a calm and calculated demeanor. He became known as the Bombay Bull. His bullish approach to trading earned him this moniker, and he wore it like a badge of honor. This guy could move markets with a single trade. His influence was so profound that even a whisper of his involvement could send stocks soaring or plummeting. But Parekh's story isn't just about success. It's a cautionary tale, a reminder that the higher you climb, the harder you can fall, a story about greed, manipulation, and the dark side of the market. It's a tale of how unchecked ambition can lead to one's downfall. Buckle up, because we're about to dive deep into the rise and fall of Ketan Parekh. His journey is a roller coaster of highs and lows, triumphs and tribulations. Stay tuned as we unravel the intricate web of his financial empire and the lessons it holds for all of us. Ketan Parekh wasn't born into wealth. He grew up in a modest household where every penny was accounted for and luxuries were few and far between. His early life was marked by a relentless pursuit of knowledge and a burning desire to rise above his circumstances. He started like most of us. He studied hard. Long hours were spent poring over textbooks, solving complex problems and preparing for exams. His dedication was unwavering and his focus unbreakable. He became a chartered accountant. Not exactly glamorous, right? But for Ketan, this was a significant milestone. It was a testament to his hard work and determination. It was the first step on a journey that would take him to the heart of Dalal Street. But this was his ticket to the big leagues. With his certification in hand, he was ready to take on the world. He was filled with ambition and a desire to make a mark in the financial world. He joined his family's brokerage firm. It was a small operation, but it was a start. Here he learned the ropes of the stock market, understanding the intricacies of trading and the importance of making informed decisions. It wasn't long before he was itching for more. The small brokerage firm was just the beginning. Ketan had bigger dreams. He wanted to make a significant impact, to be a player in the big leagues. Parekh had a knack for numbers. He could see patterns where others saw chaos. His analytical mind allowed him to predict market trends with uncanny accuracy. This skill set him apart from his peers. He could spot trends others missed. While others were focused on the present, Ketan was always looking ahead, identifying opportunities that were just on the horizon. This forward-thinking approach was key to his success. He saw the potential of a new India, an India that was on the brink of economic transformation. He believed in the country's potential and was determined to be a part of its growth story, an India opening its doors to the world. The economic reforms of the 90s were a game changer. They opened up new avenues for investment and growth. Ketan saw this as a golden opportunity. He saw opportunity in the stock market. The bustling floors of the stock exchange were a world of possibilities. Ketan knew that with the right strategy, he could turn these opportunities into substantial gains. He knew this was his chance. He started small. He made smart investments. His wealth grew. He gained a reputation. People started noticing. His calculated risks and strategic investments paid off, and soon he was a name to reckon with in the financial world. This quiet accountant was making waves. His success was not just about the money, it was about the recognition, the respect, and the influence he was gaining in the financial community. He became known as a stock market wizard. His ability to predict market movements and make profitable trades earned him this title. He was no longer just a chartered accountant. He was a financial genius. Parekh wasn't afraid to take risks. He understood that in the world of finance, risk and reward go hand in hand. His bold decisions often paid off, further cementing his reputation as a savvy investor. He bet big on emerging sectors, technology, media. He saw the potential in these industries long before they became mainstream. His investments in these sectors yielded significant returns. He rode the wave of India's economic boom. As the country's economy grew, so did Ketan's fortunes. He was perfectly positioned to take advantage of the economic upswing. His fame grew with his fortune. He was no longer just a successful investor, he was a public figure. His financial acumen and success story made him a household name. He had become a force to be reckoned with. His influence extended beyond the stock market. He was a key player in the financial world with the power to move markets and shape economic trends. He was the Bombay Bull, and the market was his to command. His journey from humble beginnings to the heart of Dalal Street is a testament to his vision, determination, and unparalleled financial acumen. Ketan Parekh had a secret sauce, a recipe for stock market success. It was called the K10. These weren't just any stocks, these were Parekh's handpicked favorites. They were from various sectors, but they all had one thing in common: Parekh's magic touch. He would buy large quantities of these K10 stocks. This created artificial demand. The prices would soar. Other investors would see this and jump on board. They didn't want to miss out on the frenzy. This further inflated the prices. Parekh was a master manipulator. He used his influence to control the media. He planted stories about his chosen companies. He spread rumors. He created hype. Investors were eating out of his hand. But here's the catch. The fundamentals of these companies didn't always add up. They weren't as profitable as they seemed. Parekh had created a house of cards, and it was only a matter of time before it all came crashing down. For a while, it seemed like Parekh could do no wrong. Everything he touched turned to gold, or so it seemed. But beneath the surface, cracks were beginning to show. The whispers started. Was Parekh's success too good to be true? Some people smelled a rat. They questioned the meteoric rise of the K10 stocks. They suspected foul play, but their voices were drowned out by the chorus of Parekh's supporters. The market was in a frenzy. Nobody wanted to believe the party was about to end. Then came the rumors, whispers of defaults, unpaid debts. Suddenly, the invincible Parekh seemed vulnerable. The market, like a skittish animal, sensed danger. The mood began to shift. March 5th, 2001. A day etched in the memories of Indian investors. It was a day that started like any other, with the usual hustle and bustle of the financial world. But as the hours ticked by, the atmosphere grew tense. Whispers of trouble began to circulate, and the air was thick with anticipation and dread. The day the music stopped, the once vibrant trading floor fell eerily silent, a stark contrast to the usual cacophony of voices and ringing phones. It was as if time itself had paused, holding its breath for the impending disaster. The day the house of cards built by Ketan Parekh came crashing down. Parekh, a name that had become synonymous with success and market acumen, was now at the center of a financial storm. His empire, built on manipulation and deceit, was unraveling at an alarming pace. It was a bloodbath on Dalal Street. The chaos was palpable as traders and investors alike scrambled to make sense of the unfolding catastrophe. Panic and confusion reigned supreme, and the once orderly world of finance descended into utter mayhem. The K10 stocks, once the darlings of the market, plummeted. These stocks, hand-picked and propped up by Parekh, were now in freefall, dragging the entire market down with them. The sense of betrayal was profound as investors realized the extent of the manipulation. Panic selling gripped the Bombay Stock Exchange. The frenzy to offload stocks was unprecedented, with traders desperately trying to cut their losses. The market was in a tailspin and there seemed to be no end in sight. Investors watched in horror as their portfolios evaporated. Years of hard-earned savings and investments were wiped out in a matter of hours. The disbelief and shock were written on the faces of those who had trusted the market to secure their financial futures. The index plunged by a record 17%. It was a historic drop, one that would be remembered for years to come. The red numbers on the trading screens were a stark reminder of the fragility of the financial system. It was India's own Black Monday. The scam was exposed. The parallels to the infamous Black Monday of 1987 were undeniable, and the sense of déjà vu was chilling. The scale of the scam was staggering, and the repercussions were felt across the entire financial landscape. Parekh's web of manipulation unraveled. The intricate network of deceit that he had woven was coming apart at the seams. The revelations were shocking, and the full extent of the fraud was slowly coming to light. He had been using a network of brokers and companies to prop up the K10 stocks. The manipulation was sophisticated and far-reaching, involving numerous players and complex financial instruments. It was a masterclass in deceit, and Parekh had played his part to perfection. He had been funneling money through dubious channels. The flow of illicit funds was staggering, and the paper trail was convoluted and difficult to trace. The sheer audacity of the scheme was mind-boggling. He had been playing fast and loose with the rules. The regulatory framework had been exploited to its limits, and the loopholes had been skillfully navigated. It was a game of high stakes, and Parekh had gambled and lost. The collapse shook the very foundations of the Indian stock market. Investors lost billions. Trust was shattered. The repercussions were far-reaching, and the damage to investor confidence was profound. The market would take years to recover, and the scars would remain for a long time. The government was forced to step in. The scale of the crisis demanded immediate action, and the authorities had no choice but to intervene. Measures were put in place to stabilize the market and restore confidence, but the road to recovery would be long and arduous. The hunt for a scapegoat was on. The public demanded accountability, and the search for those responsible intensified. The media was relentless, and the pressure on the authorities to deliver justice was immense. And all eyes turned to Ketan Parekh. He became the face of the scandal, the man who had brought the market to its knees. His arrest was a moment of catharsis for many, but the damage had been done. The legacy of the collapse would linger, a stark reminder of the perils of unchecked greed and manipulation.